Talking with famous people. Host Eric here. Welcome and salutations to all. I'm here with Liz, with Neptune, with Casual INTP, Blanky, the bot, and of course myself, the aforementioned and aforenamed host Eric. Today I'd like to talk about differentiations in personality over the course of a time cycle rather than over the course of a lifetime or something like that. And these are variations within an individual type or individual human being rather than representative of a type necessarily. For me, it's quite pronounced. Obviously, I have a cycle of personality that relates to my consumption of prescription amphetamines. The uh, cycle, well, Kimberly honed in on it right away when the speed kicked in and I was feeling fine. That I was a lot more emotionally detached than I had been previously. That previously I was feeling a lot of emotion, and that after I wasn't feeling a lot of emotion. Well, that's true, but as I explained to her, and I will explain now as well as briefly, which is simply that I don't I don't make determinations on that kind of plane of existence, the relationship plane, based on my feelings at all. So they don't matter, frankly, in terms of what I'm going to do, in terms of predicting my behavior, in terms of how I'm going to act. I'm going to act the same, whether I'm more or less detached. I'll say the same things. You might be able to tell the difference, you know, but I'll still go through the motions of being nice and everything. Um, and I'll still have periods of time where I'm genuinely feeling stronger emotions, and sometimes when I'm feeling less strong. At the beginning of a cycle, I'm like, okay, well, it's time to get down to business. I got shit to do. I got um, shit to do. So, I don't have time for moisture. And then later in the cycle, it's like, oh, I feel sad. I need moisture. And then, it just kind of goes round and round and round. So for me, this cycle is monthly approximately, and just part of life. Being with Eric means being with that whole cycle on a repetitious basis. Now, one thing I've attempted to do is kind of make the starkness of the difference as least stark as possible. But that's just one way in which I change over the course of a cycle of time is emotionally, in addition to productively and um, preference of activity, like whether I'm how much am I eating and sleeping and stuff. There's lots of different things. The point being, if you are somebody who goes through a cycle of variations of the self, that can confuse type stuff because type stuff looks at sort of a static average of your being and your approaches to things. But if you are like me, your approaches to things are not static at all. I would say that right now they're much more TIFE. Later on in the cycle, they get a little bit more NE involved because I. What is that name?
She likes to suck me off to Drake songs.
Hmm. Well, she sounds like a keeper. Um, that notwithstanding, what I was just saying is, oh right, some periods of the month I'm more NE heavy, some periods of the month I'm FI heavy, and those parts of time are always weird, you know. I draw nonsense conclusions about stuff that are motivated entirely by emotion. I'm subject to jealousy and stuff like that. So, but there's also good emotions too. And it's a pleasant place to visit once a month for a couple of days, you know? You don't want to spend too much time in Moisture Town. I mean, you don't make good decisions in Moisture Town as a general rule, unless they coincide with decisions that have been well parsed out outside in the dry deserts of the Southwest, amid the cacti, the coyotes, and the tumbleweeds. Of course, mustn't forget about the tumbleweeds. As I was saying, yeah, right. So if you're thinking to yourself, but I do all these different things, understanding your own type can be a challenge, and I would suggest that what you do in order to process that is try to look at what framework is common throughout. For me, the common framework throughout is TI. It's when I'm being moist and making statements and or decisions and or justifications and or arguments out of moisture, then TI the whole time is going, Eric, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you saying that? Why are you thinking this? This doesn't make any sense. And then I go, it's moisture again. It is, I can tell. Yeah, but says the moisture, and it often wins because Eric can be very stupid when moisture gets moist. But the nice thing is, if you are a person who's accustomed to making bad decisions because of emotions, then you don't make decisions based on emotions so much anymore and gradually learn to make decisions based on logic and other things like that. And those are much more reliable. So, anyway, then moisture time is spent doing what moisture time is for, like being moist and going like, oh, and going like, right, because you're really comfortable and all that kind of stuff. Um, anyway, think to yourself, what's your overall framework that you keep coming back to? Is it, yeah, but I feel like this way about it. Yeah, but I really know how I feel about it. It's not what you're saying is great and everything, and this makes sense, but what I really feel is, blah, blah, blah. Are you that? Then you're FI, right? Are you like it's too much? You're thinking about this too much. TE. I mean, you put a handle on this shit and get it done. Are you like that guy? You know, you have to think. What is your core framework? Which of those kind of sentences do you most agree with? And you can start to narrow down your type because you'll find it's consistent across the variations of display, like my TI is, and that's probably going to be your tool function is when you determine what kind of core sentence you represent. Anyhow, we should do another video on core sentences. Core sentence representing each cognitive function. Something like that. Pow, pow, pow. A peek, 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 chow. Anybody got any words to say before I stop the video today? What do you say, Neptune? Huh? Do you have some words of wisdom to share with us? No. He wants to type, but Eric doesn't want to read. Guys, I got a confession. I never learned to read. Bah, 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 bah. Oh my gosh, those nerves It's true. I am. I never learned to read. Just goes to show you, just because you never learned to read doesn't mean you're an idiot, right? I can sound pretty smart. Thanks for watching Talking with Fans People. Stop reducing the illiterate to some sort of status of intellectual inferior. Nobody likes that. Nobody appreciates that. It's not cool.